Okay everyone, I can't seem to upload a video these days without getting like 20 comments from people asking about Chikaordery, who was the subject of a couple of videos I made about, well, I guess it's been about 3 years. So let's give you a quick recap to those of you who are new to the channel. So 3 years ago, I got this email from a woman named Chikaordery, and she tells me that she needs surgery, but she lives in Cameroon, Central Africa, where there are no surgeons who can provide the type of care that she needs. So she finds a doctor in the United States who agrees to do it, but travel, lodging, and surgical costs are going to total like $40,000. Probably more now thanks to inflation. But I thought that this might be a scam, and I didn't even have that much money anyway, so I said to her, I bet you can raise that money yourself. Make something and sell it. And so she did. She made a book, and she learned to draw, and she told her story. And tons of people bought the book, which raised the total that she needed. It's a great story. You can go back and you can watch it, or even still buy the book if you want. But that's when COVID showed up and traveling to the United States was no longer an option. But then 2 years later, COVID finally got under control and it was time for her to visit the United States Embassy and get herself a visa, which is where we left off, and I can understand why you guys are all like,
Well, we're waiting.
So here's what happened, and I'm just gonna give it to you straight. She goes to the embassy, she does her interview, and she is denied. Yeah, apparently she was denied because the State Department didn't believe that she provided enough evidence that she intended to return back to Cameroon, which is apparently a big concern for embassies in that part of the world. And I think that they might have suspected this because when she applied for the visa, she brought along 2 of her family members because the plan was for them to come along with her and care for her during her visit and her recovery. So we said, okay, well, let's have her apply by herself to get rid of that suspicion, which was gonna suck. She'd have to make that trip alone. So anyway, she reapplies and she has to wait 2 months for an interview, and she's denied again. So at this point, I'm like, well, this really sucks. And I don't know what's happening or what's being discussed in there, but I was told by the embassy that there's a pretty high bar for the typical Cameroonian traveler. You basically have to prove that you're not going to become a public burden in the United States. And I suppose that if you're going for surgery where lots of things can go wrong and you don't have health insurance or a permanent place to stay or family, that could be a little risky. And there wasn't going to be any way for her to clear that high bar. And so she was discouraged by them from applying again. So it's not going to happen in the United States. So I got to thinking, why is she so set on going to the United States? Sure, the US has some great surgeons and facilities, but it's not the only place in the world with decent healthcare. In fact, one could argue that it's way down on the list in terms of overall healthcare. For example, did you know that Brazil is like the plastic surgery capital of the world? I started doing my homework. I looked at what countries or doctors could do this surgery and where you could easily get a visa, and I actually found a doctor in Brazil that could do it. I also found a hospital in India that could do it. I found a place in Germany that could do it, and France. I soon learned that the world is full of pretty talented surgeons, and we had the money to go pretty much wherever we wanted, as long as we could get a visa. And Brazil and India would pretty much be a guarantee. European countries might be a little harder, but Chikaordery wanted to go to a hospital in France because she actually speaks French. It's like the native language in Cameroon. And I can imagine that you'd want to go somewhere where you actually spoke the language. Being able to talk to your doctor is kind of important, you know? But here's what's interesting. I soon found out that a plastic surgery clinic in Nigeria, of all places, just brought on a double board certified plastic surgeon from America with lots of experience doing reconstructive plastic surgery. And I was like, well, this is like a miracle from heaven. And I even called them up. I talked to them. I actually paid for a consultation. And it was a great chat, and I learned a whole lot, and I personally think that Chikaordery should do this in Nigeria. It's close, it's like right next door to Cameroon, it's cheaper, it is safe, she'll get to keep whatever money she doesn't use, but it's not my call. She wants to go to France. Because there's a lot that comes with surgery, a lot of physical and emotional recovery, so it's important that she does what she's comfortable with. And I can imagine that someone from Africa would want to take advantage of an opportunity to go to a more developed country for surgery if they had the chance, especially considering that it was a botched surgery that got her into this whole mess. So, while it makes sense for me to do it in Nigeria, I'm not the one getting cut open. So she's in the process right now of applying for a visa to France. Is she going to get it, or are they going to be as strict with her as the United States was? I don't know. If they do say no, I think that she should go to Nigeria. But if she doesn't want to do that, she can try for Brazil, where she'll find the best plastic surgeons in the world. If she doesn't want to go there, she can go to India. And if she doesn't want to go there, she can go to Nigeria. There's always Nigeria. Also, it'll give me an excuse to finally visit my friends over there. I just think that it's amazing that she's finally found access to world-class surgeons and she has options now. But she's gonna have to make that decision for herself. And I'm just giving it to you straight because a lot of you have donated and are invested in this story and you deserve to know. And the money that we've raised is just sitting here with me in an account collecting interest. It's not like I'm spending it. I'm just holding it until she finds the right surgeon and gets a visa. And if these other countries that we're looking at don't work out, we're probably going to end up in Nigeria. There just isn't time or money to apply to every country on earth. So I expect that we'll learn how this is all going to end soon enough. So this is why I've been quiet. I've kind of been waiting for us to turn that corner to get us that good update, but I figured it's best to not keep you in the dark any longer. But it's still going to be a good ending, even if it looks different than what we were expecting, because that's how life goes sometimes. Good things can still work out, even if they look different from what you had envisioned them looking like. And look at all the good that we've done. We've showed what can happen when you work hard and when you get creative. We found access to safe healthcare in places that we didn't think there was any. I just wish it didn't take so dang long. But we're rolling with it. We're going to get some answers soon enough. But until then, here's your update. Look at what you guys made happen. So believe in miracles, everybody, and stay patient. Good things come late, but when you're optimistic, they sure do come. So look forward to a better update soon enough. Thanks for making this happen, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.